is up, guys? It is Griffin Fishing here, back again. And guys, I have a special video for you. I'm gonna go over my rod and reel arsenal going into 2021. First off, I have this Enlightened Series Buddha Baits rod, and I got it paired up with a Dorado Fuego. It's gonna be 8-to-1 gear ratio, and this is primarily for one of my flipping sticks. As y'all know, I love to flip, I love to punch, and guys, this 7.6 heavy powered Buddha Baits Enlightened rod, it's gonna get fish in the boat, and it's gonna get those fish out of that weed cover. And I tell you what, this Dorado Fuego, it's fast enough to where if you want to winch them out as fast as you can, and it's still got enough power to get those fish out. What I got right here is a favorite Phantom John B. rig rod. I got it paired up with an Enigma, Ipon, I don't know what it is. It's a flipping reel, what they specifically designed. It's 7-3-1, and guys, I tell you what, this setup right here is so lightweight. I have an ounce weight with a small punch skirt by Gambler with a 3.3-inch bandito bug on the back. It's black and blue, and it's just a 1 ounce. Depending on what kind of vegetation I'm in, or if I want to flip some wood or whatever it is, guys, this 7.4 Phantom rod is going to be key because it's got enough backbone, but you know, it's not as heavy as some other heavies. But I tell you what, this Phantom rod can get it done. And guys, let me tell you what, this Enigma reel, it's so lightweight. This whole thing is so lightweight, but it does come in heavy. And so guys, if you want to find the perfect, in my opinion, the perfect flipping setup for flipping wood, flipping lightweights, this would be it right here. This Enigma Ipon reel 7-3-1 with the Phantom rigged rod right here, 7-4 heavy. All right, guys, next up is my series of rods. It's actually only have one rod of my series of rods, but it is the Elite rod. So let me tell you the story of this. All right, guys, this right here is my Griffin Fishing Elite Series flipping rod right here. So how I designed this rod, as all y'all know, y'all saw me catch a 4-pounder a couple videos ago on this exact rod right here, flipping the exact same weight. I'm flipping a 1.25 ounce weight with a BBZ Cricket. My Elite Series rods, I wanted to design them specifically for what technique that you're doing. And if you want to get a crankbait rod with some carbon fiber grips, guys, I tell you what, it will be the best thing that you could do. How I designed this rod right here is I wanted something to where if I flipped into that vegetation, I could feel the bite if they were to hit it right when it hit the water. I wanted to feel that bite. Usually with some of these flipping sticks, you can't feel anything. All you do is feel pressure on the end of your rod tip. And so what I wanted this for is I wanted to feel everything. I wanted to feel if there was vegetation, grass under the mat. I wanted to feel if there was rocks under the mat. I wanted to feel everything that was under there. I wanted to get a feel for, you know, what was going on and where those bass were located. And so what I have right here is a 7.9 Griffin Fishing flipping stick. It's a really heavy blank, but like I said, not as heavy to where you can't feel those bites. I do have carbon fiber handles on them, and I do have a big butt on the end. I actually have 3 series of rods. I have the Rookie rod, which is a 7-foot medium heavy powered rod. And then that's the Rookie rod. It's coming in close to around $80. If you want any of these rods, just hit me up on, DM me on Instagram, and I'll get you one. Also, I have the Griffin Fishing Pro rods, which is 3 rods. The first one's a 7.3 medium heavy. It's a little bit better than the Rookie rod as far as quality, but the Griffin Fishing Pro 7.3 medium heavy, I specifically designed that rod to do anything that you want. You could throw jigs, it's basically do what you want with that rod. Now, I've built the 7.3 heavy as one of my Griffin Fishing Pro rods. I designed that specifically for topwater. I will show you in one of my rods. I actually have a 7.3 heavy that I use for only topwater. I love using a 7.3 heavy for frogs, for walking baits, for poppers, for almost anything that's topwater, and especially for having a heavy when I'm down here in South Georgia and, you know, fighting those fish. God, it's just so deep in that vegetation. Last but not least, I created the 7.6 medium heavy mid to fast action tip, which was specifically designed for flipping. It is a flipping stick, but it's not heavy. You can still feel those bites as what you can in medium heavy. And what I designed that specifically for is for laydowns, is for timber or underwater cover or such like that. It's got a lot of backbone to where you can keep pressure on those fish whenever they get wrapped up in that brush or in that tree or whatever you're fishing. And last but not least is my Griffin Fishing Elite Series rods. If you want the best of the best, let's just say you hit me up and you say, hey, you want a spinnerbait rod. That's all it is. You want a spinnerbait rod used specifically for spinnerbaits. Hit me up and we will create the best one for you. And guys, you can pick whether between you want carbon fiber handles, you want cork handles, you can basically pick anything that you choose specifically for you. So technically you can make the best rods that you want for you. And guys, we use G Loomis eyes. We use the same eyes as G Loomis, and we sell it for half the price. So guys, if you want the best bang for your buck, and we hardly get any commission off of it. Some of these rod companies are getting $80, $50, $80, $100 worth of commission off of these rods, and they're cheating you. If you're going out to buy a $150 rod, let me tell you something. They're getting that rod and making that rod for almost $70, and they're getting the rest of the commission. So guys, these rods are coming out just straight from me. And if you want one of these rods, just DM me on Instagram. I'll link it down in the description. And guys, go pick yourself up one of these sweet Griffin fishing rods. Next is the 7.3 heavy topwater rod. I have a walking bait right here, and I have a Shimano Dorado DC on here. And guys, I'm telling you what, this has caught me so many sixes, so many fours this year on that topwater frog. And it's a Dobbins Fury. It's a 7.3 heavy. It's specifically made for topwater. It's a frogging stick, of course. But guys, the reason I have this Shimano Dorado DC on here is because I can cast it so far. I can cast it so far with a topwater frog as more than I can other bait casters. And I tell you what, especially when I'm throwing it into the wind, whenever I'm throwing it, you know, in a specific place, the Shimano Dorado does the job. It's a 7:4 gear ratio reel. Let me tell you what, this is one of the best rods that I could use for topwater, to get those fish out of that heavy hydrilla that we do have down here in South Georgia and North Florida. I know there's a lot of states around that has a bunch of hydrilla, and you know where I'm talking about. You can get out there. It's got a very fast tip on it. And so if I want to sling out those frogs, I want to sling out those walking baits, I want to sling out those prop baits or whatever you want to call them, this gets the job done, I promise you. Next, I have absolute beast of a frog rod. It's another 7.6 Enlightened Series Buddha bait rod with a Shimano SLX DC on here. Right here, I have a Guggen Baits Filthy Frog. And guys, if you go check out my TikTok, you can see during this summer, I caught so many fish on this frog right here. I tell you what, guys, I feel like the Filthy Frog is one of the most durable baits. Durable frogs, I mean, in the fishing industry. This, you know, there's a lot of people that say they can't get the hook in, it's too tough. Well, you're not hook setting right, and I promise you that. You're not hook setting right. So let me tell you, this frog has caught me so many fish, and using this 7.6 heavy, I can sling it. I can sling it twice as far as I can that Shimano Dorado DC, and I can hook set on this rod right here from farther away because it's so tall, because it's so long. This is a 7.6. It actually is for frogging and flipping. I'm using this rod. I'm using this 7.6 rod whenever I need to sling it out there. There's those fish in this a long distance, and I need to hook set them from, let's just say 50 yards away, 60 yards, 70 yards. It makes it a lot easier to get that hook inside of those fish using this tall rod. And the Shimano SLX DC, guys, it's one of the most phenomenal reels that you can get for the price. $189, you can't beat that, I promise you. And especially if you're going on looking at a sale, I promise you, you cannot beat this setup right here. Next, I have the all-purpose rod. You've seen this combo right here in my past couple videos, and what I have on this is it's going to be for everything. It's going to be for my chatterbaits, Texas rigs, spinnerbaits, crankbaits, whatever you want to put on here, you can. This is a 7.3 medium heavy rod. I would not put on a frog, a topwater frog or anything like that. I would if it was a horny toad or something like that. But guys, what I have on here is I actually got like a 3/4 ounce football shaky head with this 10-inch Mondo worm. I'm gonna be killing it pretty soon. Y'all watch. And what I usually want to pair up with this is 15 to 20 pound fluorocarbon. Right now I have 17 pound, just meet in the middle. And so this rod is perfect for anything that you want to do. It's a 7.3 medium heavy, perfect. And I told you in the past videos, this Shimano Dorado DC, y'all saw me sling that rattle trap freaking 150 yards. I mean, I was slinging it and the wind wasn't even helping me. And so I was slinging it with a rattle trap and I was catching way more fish than I could have slinging it, you know, with something like a Shimano Dorado K or anything like that. This Dorado DC did the job for me. And so guys, I cannot tell you enough how much that digital chip means, and you know, how much of an advantage it could be whenever you're out on the water and those guys need to get closer to those fish. You can reach them with a Shimano Dorado DC. My next setup is a Dorado K paired up with a Bass X St. Croix rod. It is a, if I'm not mistaken, this is a 7.4 heavy. And what I'm using this for, I usually have this paired up with 20 pound fluorocarbon, 25 pound fluorocarbon. And what I'm using this is for, you know, those lay downs. I'm not using this for almost anything else other than big crankbaits or big style baits, or if I'm flipping wood. What I want to do with this rod, since this is so heavy, this is a really heavy rod, what I want to do is I want to use that 20 to 25 pound fluorocarbon and get in those places that I can't using 15 to 12 pound fluorocarbon. Or if those fish do not want to look at that braid and eat, they're kind of finicky, what I want to do is I want to use this 20 to 25 pound fluorocarbon and flip in there and get those fish out. I know I'm not going to break off. I have a bunch of confidence in this setup right here. This is a beautiful setup, real nice. And especially with this 7.4, I can reach places, I can flip that jig into that wood. And I tell you what, we are going to get on them coming up this springtime whenever we're going to be fishing on beds. I tell you what, I promise you, this is going to come into key. All right, second, what I have here is a Mach speed stick right here. This is one of my cheapest setups that I have that I actually, you know what, it's really nice for the time being. I usually don't use a lot of crankbaits. Actually, this is my first reel I ever bought that on my own. It is a 13 fishing Inception. This reel has went through so much, and you know, if I could, I'd buy a lot more. You know, this is just if you want a reel that's just a power horse, you know, that's never gonna end, that you want to last, you know, flop it in the boat, throw it in the boat, leave it outside. This is the reel for you. This is a 13 fishing Inception. Now, this Mach speed stick is specifically designed for crankbaits, and guys, what I like to use right here, right now what I have is a Vexen Scrowbill crankbait, and what I like to put on here, it ranges from 12 to 20 pound fluorocarbon, depending on the size of the bait or depending on how deep those fish are. I want to be using this specifically to find those fish and, you know, with those crankbaits. This reel actually wasn't a reel that I would use for crankbaits, but that's how it ended up. This reel got replaced with the Shimano's and everything like that. And so this reel is actually my first, and I caught so many frogfish on it. I caught so many Texas rig fish on it, but now it has become my crankbait rod, saying that this bait caster can go through anything. I promise you. Go pick one up. It retails for about $139. So if you want a really good reel for the good price that's never gonna end, go pick up a 13 Fishing Inception. Last but not least, it is my only spinning rod. Of course, I don't use a lot of spinning rods. You know, the grass is too thick. You know, I really don't have any play for it. I don't really need one. But whenever I do need one, and ever I'm using those weightless Senkos, or you know, those fish are kind of finicky, I have this Dobbin Fury series rod. It's a 7-foot rod. It is a medium fast action, and what I primarily use this for is for weightless Senkos. Yeah, that's about it. I usually only use it for like weightless things, you know, flukes, weightless Senkos, you know, stuff like that. And what I have paired up with it is a Shimano Nasky, whatever it is, a Shimano Nasky 2000. And for this reel right here, this reel is only $100. Guys, tell me where you can beat that. You can't. I promise you, for the price of the money, you can definitely get some really good fish with this reel. $100, I would totally say this is the best reel that you can buy on the market for $99. And what I have paired up with it is 20-pound braid. And usually, what I like to do is put 15 to 12-pound fluorocarbon on a leader, or if I'm too big into vegetation, I would just put straight braid on there and it'll work just fine. I've caught plenty of big fish using straight braid, but guys, let me tell you something. This is one of the best setups that you can use for a spinning combo. Alright guys, that's my 2021 rod and reel arsenal. Guys, I promise you I'm going to be buying a whole lot more rod and reels coming up in the year 2021. And by the time you see this, it'll be Christmas, and Merry Christmas to each and one of you. I hope you all have been safe, and I hope y'all are having a great time with your families. Next video that is coming up, y'all are not going to want to miss this. I have 2 mother load boxes right here. Me and one of my friends, my best friend, is actually going to be going out. That's either Monday or Tuesday. We're going to go out and go to the 6-pounder pond, and we're going to be using these mother load boxes. It's going to be a mother load fishing challenge, and guys, you are not going to want to miss that. So what you need to do is you need to subscribe, you need to comment, and you need to like this video. Tell me if you're ready for this freaking video, guys. I'm telling you what, it's going to be absolutely crazy. The water is really murky. Everything, you know, is going not the plan, but guys, I'm actually taking somebody else to this pond and see if we can go catch that 14 that I know that's in there. And guys, let me tell you what, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.